Hi, and welcome back to Running in the 90s.
And today we have a different video for you.
Today we're doing dubs that make our ears bleed.
Now, a little bit of gatekeeping before we start. You know, some people are really out here being like, dubs are better than subs, or subs are better than dubs. But you know, however you want to enjoy your anime is how you enjoy your anime. Personally, I am more of a dub fan. I do not like reading. Reading is hard. It's never been easy for me. So just being able to hear it is really nice.
And there are some really great dubs out there. Case in point, look at Cowboy Bebop, one of the notoriously most famous English dubs around. Everyone loves it. I can't think of anyone who says a bad thing about that dub.
Exactly. But with that being said, I feel like the dub fans deserve good dubs. So here are some that I think you should just maybe not listen to. Avoid.
First up on my list is Orange High School Host Club. Now I know, a lot of you, when the English dub was announced, you were ecstatic. I mean, if you don't believe me, go look up the YouTube videos. But while I do enjoy 90% of the voices in the English dub, I have to say, Tamaki and Haruhi suck. Their voices just don't fit their characters. They sound bland and boring, and with Vic Mungunnen as Haruhi, all I'm hearing is a bunch of Edward Elric. I mean, I just can't get past it.
Thanks, Haruhi. Do you always carry bandages around with you?
Nah, the supermarket was giving them out with the purchase of instant coffee.
Don't go touching my Haruhi without asking my permission!
Next, the one I want to talk about is Astro Boy. Most known as the first anime ever to debut in Japan. I'm not quite sure if it was the first English dub of anime to be viewed in America, but it might as well be because it shows. It's very much like it's out of sync. The voice is so high pitched, and I know you're thinking like that's kind of like really common if you're watching like regular anime. Like they'll have like a really high pitched voice, but it is something that it works in Japanese that does not do in English. It's just like interesting. It is, you know, just a classic robot voice show, and it's really fun to watch, and it makes a really good drinking game. So every time like the lip syncs aren't matching, you take a shot.
We should do that sometime. That sounds like fun.
Someone cut the tether. That was mighty close.
That's terrible. Who'd do such a thing? What's that you have there, Commander?
If I told you, you'd never believe me. Captain, I'd like to see you in my chambers at once.
Next up on my list is Spy and Family. Now I know again, you're like, Dina, what are you talking about with all these popular animes and their dubs? Now listen to me. Again, 90% of it I like. But Anya's voice and those two little guys that follow around the second son, their voices are atrocious. Like, you can clearly tell they are adults trying to mimic children, and they just make me want to claw my ears out. I would much rather have English dub for everyone else and Japanese dub for those kids. I would totally be cool with that because their voices in Japanese are great. I don't know why they honestly just don't hire some teenagers to voice these kids, because it's just so sad trying to hear adults pretend to be children.
This is my uniform! Ta-da! I'm in my uniform! Ta-da!
So let me take you on a journey. You are the hugest fan of a magical girls show called Pretty Cure, or Precure for shorthand. It's one of your favorite shows. You love it so much, and you read it almost every season. You hear, oh, there's a dub of Precure coming to Netflix. Netflix, what a good studio. I'm sure they have so many good animes. I mean, if you ever watch High-Riders Invasion, great anime. Love that show. I think the voice is great for that. But then you watch what they renamed Pretty Cure to Glitter Force.
Oh!
It just ain't it, Chief. It just ain't it. It is. It's like the modern 4Kids. It's so funny. It's like, wow, you watch, you're like, wow, they really just said they skip episodes, they skip plot lines, just to. And I just want to have an honorable mention, and I don't remember her voice actress on top of my head, but the same voice actress that voiced Jimmy Neutron in the original series, and also I believe in the movie, voices one of the characters in Glitter Force Doki Doki, and you can tell, it's like very much like, this is just Jimmy Neutron. Like, why are you lying to me? Why are you this pink anime hair girl?
どうしたの?
This
time you try feeding her, Mackenzie. Not sure if I'm up for that yet. Come on, it's easy. Don't worry, she'll know what to do. See?
Next on my list, I have Ghost Stories. Now, back when I first watched Ghost Stories, I had to have been in like late middle school, early high school. This was like peak Little Karibo and Team 4-Star for a bridge series. When I watched this, I literally thought it was an abridged series. The voices were tacky, and just the timing of what they were saying and how they were saying it, it sounded like it was a bridge series. Blew my mind when I found out that was the actual dub. And I still can't believe it to this day that someone actually had to sit in a studio, listen to this, and then approve it, and then air it.
What the hell is this thing? A copier? A hard drive?
It's called a scanner. You use it to transfer pictures to myspace.com or jewishNerdboysLookingForHoochies.org.
Really?
I love that dub so much. Despite that, though, I think it holds up so well. It's so funny. But yeah, if you're a really big fan of the original Japanese Ghost Stories and you're like, oh, they have a dub, let me like watch my like mild spooky show, it's not it cheap.
Don't do it. You have to go into that with the English as a comedy.
You know, like knowing that it's like totally different.
Even though it's a supernatural horror flick,
Yeah.
you gotta go into it as a comedy.
Well, the next one that I wanted to talk about, you know, I kind of referenced 4Kids in my last one, and now we're actually going to go there and we're going to talk about that One Piece dub of 4Kids, everybody. You know, the bloody pirate show where like there's literal murder and people die all the time. You know, and it was dubbed by 4Kids, and I was like, wow, they're really out here just censoring everything. Like, Sanji's voice actor, I have to put in a clip because I think it's so funny. Because Sanji's just supposed to be this very suave and, like, intellectual man. And they gave him, like, this, like, New Yorker accent that is, like, so cartoony. Like, to the point where I watched and was like, what? And, you know, say what you want about the actual dub, but that opening was a little fire. So, like, I really did enjoy the opening. I still watch the opening to this day. If I ever want to get hyped for something.
Such suffering, such sweet sorrow. Yes, I would stoop to becoming a pirate or even a demon if only I could be with you, my dearest Petunia.
Next up, we're going to be looking at Gravitation. Now, while I love the series, you cannot deny the second you hear those voices, it might as well be nails on a chalkboard.
I want to share this happiness with the rest of the world!
They're so bad. And the acting is terrible too. Everyone is so stiff and just ew. I literally just rewatched the show a couple months ago with my niece, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're worse than what I remember them being. And that was so sad.
I might have thought you were a little cute the other night, but that was the other night. And today you are just annoying me.
And last but not least comes a recommendation from my husband, Garzy Wings. Now, I've never watched Garzy Wings. It's a 3-part OVA, but my god, those voices are literally record-breaking bad. None of them fit. None of what they're saying makes sense. I've seen fan dubs better than what we listened to in a 30-second clip from this show.
Are you alright, Mr. Holy Warrior?
You held on to it well for a first-timer.
I guess the footstraps must be helping him.
I intentionally fell off to protect the horse's feelings.
It was a short video, but it was a good one. In the comments, let us know about some anime that you don't think should have been dubbed, or maybe should have been dubbed instead of subbed. I don't know.
And don't limit it to just the English ones. There are some Japanese ones I don't particularly care for either.
No, have you ever heard of Romeo X Juliet? The dub is so much better than the sub. Well, that's it. Check out other videos. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.